Copyright disclaimer. Under Title 17 U.S.C. Section 107, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit, educational, or personal use, tips a balance in favor of fair use. Okay, this is from Andrew Villen's blog. It is titled, Ex-Scentologist Story, Number 88, Rice, Beans, and Roaches. Okay, this is the infamous black-toothed potbelly, thinks it's okay to kiss a 7-year-old girl passionately, convicted felon, fraud, loser, military reject, just to name a few. Writing for a penny a word is ridiculous. If a man really wants to make $1 million, the best way would be to start his own religion. From L. Ron Hubbard, founder of Scientology, Reader's Digest, May 1980. Okay, before I get into the story, I want to touch on this hand pose that he has. He's got his thumb outward around his chin. It's very telling. So hold on. Okay, I didn't find that much for these search words. Freemason hand on chin. This guy, regarding the Book of Secrets, he's got his hand to the left, index finger pointing. Oh no, it's not his index. Let me see. Yeah, index finger pointing upward. Paul Revere, Harry Belafonte. I forgot what this guy's name is. This is from the book Codex Magica, I believe the name of the book is, showing the Freemasonic hand signs. Hold on again. Notice David Miscavige's hand, just like the last guy we looked at. And again. It's not a coincidence, you guys. On a different topic here, just for fun. This book is worth a read. Aleister Crowley. And again. And again. And this just to show you that this is not in my mind. So now I'm going to go back to the story. Ex-Scentologist Story, Number 88, Rice, Beans, and Roaches. Lori Taverna was in Scientology for 17 years, part of that on staff. She was promised that if she took a 2-week course in Clearwater, she would make $700 a week, delivering Scientology services when she returned. She was eager to leave New York City when she saw the brochures about the Fort Harrison, the Scientology Hotel in Clearwater, Florida. As always, the promises of Scientology were worthless, she says. There were 10 beds in the room, 4 bunks on each side, and then 2 bunks against another wall. The room was very small, 20 feet, a small room. There was no walking space. The 4th bunk was about this high from the ceiling, and that's where I had climbed up to. There was no ladder. What could go wrong? As for the 2 weeks, Lori said, anyway, instead of 2 weeks, I ended up staying here 3 months in Clearwater. I had accumulated a couple of $1,000s in debts at home because my business collapsed. I had someone running it for me, but it didn't work out. My children had to go back to school in September, and I didn't want to stay anymore because nothing was true of what was told to me. That was the bait. In this greedy cult, the heat was always on for more money. We had a graph of money in, and they would show us and they would say daily, Ron Hubbard is not happy with the statistics. The hours are down. When the stats were down, they called them stats for statistics. When the stats were down at the Fort Harrison, the highest staff, they were put on rice and beans. Including children, you guys, so, you know. They would have this for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They were not allowed to eat any other food. When we went to the galley, we would have regular food, but the staff would have rice and beans. And this would stay until the stats went up again. It should be noted that during this period of time, Scientology was taking in over $2 million a week from Clearwater alone. But the staff sure as hell never saw any of it. More from Lori about this mecca of Scientology, specifically as to the living quarters at the Fort Harrison, or how it was to be there as a student or as an auditor. I mentioned that it was very overcrowded. There's 10 bunks in a room. There were also many bugs in the room. There were roaches, there were ants on the sheets, there was, I don't know what it is. It's a very large bug that looked like a roach that would fly around the room regularly. You know, like they didn't have the money for extermination. Speaking of the RPF, the internal prison system within Scientology, Lori states, but all I know is what I saw. I saw a few people who looked very sick. One woman had sores all over her body, open sores. I went into my friend. I asked her if I'm allowed to speak to her. She said, you can speak to your friend, but in the RPF, they're not allowed to communicate to anyone outside the RPF. There's the, what do you call it, like insular community? There's a lot more in this story concerning children in Scientology and the constant lies and abuse of this horrible cult. If you want to know what the world would be like with these people in charge, follow this link. It's probably a broken link, but let's try it. Clearwater was not the only place that Scientology abuse took place. You know, just think, Scientology actually thinks they stop people from talking. Okay, I'll leave the link in the description box. Like and subscribe if you choose. Please like and subscribe. And have a good day or night wherever you are. Peace.